Good morning, welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. Today I'm going to show you an increase stitch called the knit front and back. It's very easy to do, and you do it when you want to add a stitch without adding a hole. The only thing you'll have is this one little bar in front of the stitch. Let me show you. I'm going to knit the first two stitches just to get to a good point to show you this. Although you could do a knit in front and back right there in that first stitch. You don't have to do it on an edge. It's just easier to do it this way. Okay, for me right now. Alright, when you knit the front and back, you knit through the front, you just knit it like you regularly would. And then after you knit the stitch, you don't pull the stitch off the left hand needle yet. You go in through the back loop like this and knit the stitch through the back loop. And then after you've knit it through the back loop, you pull the stitch off the left hand needle. And this is what it looks like. You have this stitch, which looks like a regular knit stitch, and then you have this stitch beside it that has a little purl bump in front of it. That's called the knit front and back. And it's an increase stitch, and as you can see, there's no hole there through doing the increase. I'll show you again. You knit through the front of the stitch, don't pull the stitch off the left hand needle, then knit the stitch through the back. And then after you do that, you can pull it off the left hand needle, and you're left with the stitch looking like that. There is another way that you can do this stitch that makes the stitch not twist and looks a little bit neater in your pattern. It's instead of knitting through the front of the stitch and then the back of the stitch, you knit through the back of the stitch and then through the front of the stitch. So what you do is you knit through the back of the stitch first, knit through the back loop, and then don't pull it off the left hand needle. Then you knit through the front of the loop. It looks exactly the same, except that the stitch is, you can see it's twisted a little bit differently, that front stitch is, and it lays a little bit better. See how this stitch is a little bit, laying a little bit more inward? This lays a little bit flatter on in your knitting. So some people prefer that more than doing the knit through the front and the back. This is knit through the back and then the front. Let me show that again. It's the same thing. You're still increasing your knitting by a stitch and you're not creating a hole. So you knit through the back loop first, and then you knit through the front loop and pull it off the left hand needle. And that's what it looks like. Knit through the back and the front. Or knit through the front and the back. Okay, that's one type of increase. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Press subscribe if you want to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing more increase stitches, decrease stitches, patterns, all kinds of things. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video.